Welcome back to the future of work, AI-driven sales and project management. I'm Bob Gatta, and today we're continuing our journey into how AI can elevate the sales and project management roles to foster customer loyalty and free up the team so they can focus their energy on value-added activities that grow and scale your business. In our last episode, we introduced the email classification system, a tool that precisely categorizes incoming emails as one from a customer, a vendor, or another source. We discussed how narrowing the scope of AI improves the accuracy and consistency of the responses, revolutionizing our approach to communication. In today's episode, we'll show you the intricate process of handling pricing requests and delve into the nuances of order management. You'll witness AI in action, from its ability to draft precise email responses to creating CRM entries, illustrating the practical impact and efficiency of our AI-driven approach. Let's get started. Once an email is identified as coming from a customer, ChatGPT's role becomes even more nuanced. And we've talked about the need to be very narrowly focused if the customer is requesting pricing, placing an order with us, or requires support. So let's take a real detailed look into both the pricing chain of events and the order chain of events that we have going on here. In pricing, we have two separate AI models or let's call them agents. So here we have one agent that's going to be drafting an email to our vendor. It's actually going to read the email. It's going to say, we need these raw materials. It's going to identify the vendor that we're going to be sending that to, and it's going to send a detailed email requesting raw material pricing from that vendor. This eliminates a lot of the routine tasks that a project manager might do. All that project manager needs to do now is review the draft emails, perhaps make a couple tweaks, and off it goes. The next thing it's going to do is it's actually going to go into our CRM system. In this case, we're using HubSpot, but this could be Salesforce or any other number of CRM systems. It's actually going to create a deal in our system. The salesperson could be traveling, they could be on vacation, but once that email is received with this Zapier, again, the connective tissue, it's going to allow access into HubSpot. And based on what ChatGPT has identified it as, it's actually going to put this new deal right in HubSpot, and we'll show you that. Another agent, a second agent in this case, completely separate from the others, is actually going to draft a response to our customer. And this customer response, we now have the opportunity to recognize that, yes, they gave us an opportunity to quote for their project, and we can reinforce our commitment to customer service and customer satisfaction. If the customer places an order with us, again, a completely different agent here writes an email notifying the customer that we received their order. And it, again, reinforces our commitment to customer service. Because with Zapier, we can also go back into our CRM system and move that deal from a pricing requested or within any of the responses to a one order. Now let's take a look at how this works in real life. All right, so let's take a look at this in a real live example. And in this screen here, this is basically the pricing chain that this will go through. And this represents an email that I would receive from a customer requesting pricing information. The only thing that I've changed here, because I want to show you one nuance, is I added this first line. I hope you had a great time at your daughter's engagement party. The reason I did that is I want to show you how this model, when it drafts an email to a vendor, is very different than how it responds to a customer. And because we had to train these differently in order to respond in a different fashion. So this was identified as a pricing request properly. It looked at this email, it read this email, and it automatically drafted this email and put it in draft emails to our vendor that says, to our vendor, please provide a quote for the following components required for an upcoming audio display. We need pricing for 1,820 kits for the following. This exactly mirrors the request that was asked of us, and it automatically drafts the email to our vendor. So in this case, the next step is for Zapier to provide access to HubSpot, our CRM system. And as mentioned, this could be Salesforce or any other number. As you see here, it automatically created a pricing request based on the subject line of the email, which is really very typical in our industry, that the subject line would be designated for request for quote. So here it's automatically done the pricing request. Again, no interaction required from the salesperson. They could be traveling or on vacation, but everyone is notified as soon as that email, it actually hits our Microsoft Outlook account. Okay, so now let's look at the next step, which is how this AI agent responds to the customer based on receiving the request for quote. And again, remember, I put this pleasantry in here just to show you the differences in how we train the agent, so that does respond to these pleasantries, and also that it reinforces our commitment to customer service. So after receiving this email, AI automatically generates a response that says, "Dear Theo Campbell, I hope this message finds you well. It was indeed a pleasure to celebrate my daughter's engagement, and I appreciate your kind thoughts." Again, responding back to the pleasantries in his email that he sent to us without any human interaction. It goes on to thank him for reaching out to us. Please rest assured that we're currently reviewing your request and will provide a detailed quote within the next, in this case, business day, but you can change that for whatever your organization is. And we're grateful for the opportunity to quote this project and look forward to the possibility of contributing to its success. So now all the salesperson needs to do is actually modify this a bit. So for example, instead of "Dear Theo Campbell," in the draft emails, perhaps the salesperson eliminates the last name, "Dear Theo," or "Hi Theo." But again, this first draft is written in a form that conveys our commitment to customer satisfaction, and it even responds to the pleasantries. Okay, so now let's take a look at the chain of events when ChatGPT identifies an incoming email as a customer wanting to place a purchase order with us. So here's a typical email that you might receive, which basically says, "Hi, Bob, we'd like to purchase X number of quantities of this product. Here's our purchase order number. And oh, by the way, please ship these directly to our Rhode Island facility." So this model, which is specifically trained to respond to this type of request, automatically drafts an email that says, "Dear Theo Campbell, thanks again for your placing an order with Gemtech Electronics. And by the way, Gemtech Electronics is just a shell company that we're using for this demonstration purpose. We're pleased to confirm the receipt of your purchase order. We'll provide you with delivery information within the next week. Please don't hesitate. We appreciate your business and look forward to fulfilling your order promptly. Thank you for choosing Gemtech Electronics for your audio display project needs." Again, reinforcing our commitment to customer service and customer satisfaction. All a salesperson needs to do here is look at their draft email folder, make some corrections. Perhaps it's not "Dear Theo Campbell," perhaps it's "Hi Theo." Again, put their signature block in. If this was a real company, it would automatically have their signature block here. And send this email off. Again, having a very timely response. The salesperson could be traveling. They could be making presentations in front of other companies or customers. And when they're done with that, look at their draft email folder and be able to send this out in a very timely fashion. Okay, so let's look at the very last stage in this order process, which here Zapier goes into the CRM system. In our shell company, we're using HubSpot, but this could be Salesforce or any other number of CRM systems. And we want it to change from whatever stage it's in to this closed won stage. Again, because ChatGPT identified this as a won order or purchase order, it can move it to this closed won stage. It does all of this without any human interaction. So the salesperson can be out making customer and client calls, and it's moved immediately into this closed won bucket. So now everyone is notified. Nobody has to wait for the salesperson to actually move it from stage to stage in order to be identified as a closed and won option. As we conclude this episode, we've only scratched the surface of AI's impact in our sales process. In our next episode, we'll explore how AI navigates the complexities of customer support, from understanding diverse inquiries to providing accurate, empathetic, and timely responses. Expect to see how AI not only streamlines the support process, but also enhances the quality of customer service and the ability to embody the core values of your company. So stay tuned for an insightful journey into the world of AI-driven customer support, a key pillar in maintaining customer satisfaction and loyalty in today's digital age.